everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to take a look at the new DC Comics Multiverse 4-inch Batman Arkham Knight Harley Quinn figure from Mattel. Now this figure comes in the same standardized packaging we've seen with all the other figures in the line. You've got the highly detailed and authentic wording in the adult collector up at the top, the orange and yellow card back with scenes from like the video game, the DC Multiverse logo and the Batman Arkham Knight logo, and then the figure's clearly displayed on the card, and you've got an image of the character from the video game, and then down at the bottom you have the name of the character. On the back, again, an image of the character from the video game, a brief bio about the Multiverse line, some stats for Harley Quinn, and then figures in the assortment, other figures released, basically Black Mask, the Joker, and Batman. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at the figure inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. And for the most part, I think this is probably one of the nicer looking figures in this 4-inch line from Mattel. I think the detail on the outfit is really good, and I think the face sculpt on it is also really good. Actually on par with like the DC collectible 7-inch figures. You can see here I actually kind of like the face sculpt with this 4-inch figure than I do the 7-inch figure from DC Collectibles. Now the character's wearing the little skirt outfit. She's got their traditional spandex in the maroon and black colors, mixed match legs, and then same with the boots. And she's got the short boots on. You can see some laces like sculpted on the boots. And she's got the little diamond pattern on her legs. And even some, some rough spots sculpted on her, around her knees. The skirt itself is made with a vinyl material, so there is some flexibility there. So nice sculpting on it as well. But it does restrict some of the forward and back movement with the legs, which we'll look at when we look at the articulation on this figure. Then she's showing a little cleavage with the outfit, and she's got the white makeup on her face and the red lipstick. Now I don't know how well it shows up on camera, and you really kind of have to look at it real closely, but there does look to be a little bit of paint blemish on the white with her face. It just looks like a little rough patch or something. And it's not too noticeable. Like I said, you have to look really closely to see it, but it is there. But otherwise, I think the face sculpt looks really good on the figure. On this figure, she's got the blonde hair with the pigtails, and the pigtails are dyed the black and red colors, and she's also even got the little hair bands with the red and black colors. So like I said, overall detail and everything on this 4-inch figure I think Mattel did a really good job with. This figure also comes with one accessory, which we haven't been seeing much with the figures in this line, but she does come with her big wooden mallet, and it is sculpted in a brownish color with line works to give it that wood look on the head of the hammer, and even got the little diamond shaped pattern on one side of the hammer, and then it says "your face here" on the other. So again, some nice detail for an accessory in this scale. And she can hold it in either hand. You have to kind of pry the fingers open, but she can actually get it in her right and left hand. And she holds it, once you get it in there, she holds it pretty tight. The figure stands, if you count from her feet to the tip of her pigtails, she's just a hair, and I literally mean that, a hair over 4 inches tall. Here she is next to the Joker figure released in this line, and you can see Joker is just a tiny bit taller, but really for the most part they're about the same. They're about the same height. Articulation on this figure, unfortunately, is not the best. You know, I was really thinking this was probably one of the best figures in this Multiverse line, and then we got to the articulation in it, and it does suffer a little bit in that department. The head is same kind of ball joint as all the figures, so she can look left and she can look right, but she doesn't have any up or down movement at the head. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joints, so she can get her arms out fine, and she's got good rotation at the arm. But this figure, I don't know why, but they chose not to give this figure any kind of elbow joint. So that's a real setback in my opinion for this figure, that she has no elbow joints at all. She does have a swivel at the wrists, no ab crunch of any kind, which is typical with these figures, and she does have a swivel at the waist. The legs are on those standard hinge joints like we've seen with all the figures in this wave. However, the skirt piece of the outfit does limit her movement of the legs to some extent. She can get her legs out, do the splits about that much, but really cannot get her legs forward or back a whole lot. That's about as much forward as you can get the leg. She does have a thigh swivel. She has a single hinge knee, so she can bend her knee about that much. And then there's no ankle articulation at all on this figure, which again is pretty typical with this line. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I think this is a really nice looking figure for a 4-inch scale figure. I think the detail on the outfit and the face sculpt look really good. I like the accessory that they've given her and the detail on that. My biggest gripe with this figure is that they didn't give her any elbow joints. All the other figures have had elbow joints, so I'm not sure why they decided not to give this one the elbow joints. But other than that, I think this is a really nice figure, and probably I would say if she had the elbow joints, I'd probably say it's probably the nicest figure in the line to date that I've looked at. But that being said, it's probably, if you are collecting the 4-inch line, this is probably one you'll still want to add to your collection. So that's my review. Please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll check you later.